Unfiltered with Joshua Generation here at New Providence Baptist Church in Columbus, Georgia. And today our topic of discussion will be grief and growth while being a young adult. Okay, y'all. So today's episode is all about, as Kendra just said, grief and growth. And how to navigate that loss as a young adult. Most of the time when we talk about grief, we normally are just referring to someone who is no longer with us physically. We also want to talk about just navigating the grief of losing a person who is still walking this earth, but they're no longer in our lives. So that's something we're gonna touch on today. Anybody wanna? This is a real hard topic, so it's gonna be a little bit. No, literally. Okay, so they always say, I think they say 7 stages of grief.
Yeah. That was good. Okay.
So with there being 7 stages, I know that not everyone goes through those 7 stages in the same order. So what do you think your initial response to grief is?
Delusion.
Okay, delusion.
Mine is like shut down. Not shut down, but like numbness.
Okay, so
mine is anger.
Anger, numbness, denial.
I don't think I've ever been mad.
Anger.
In the sense of losing a person who just no longer being in a relationship with them, like not talking to that person anymore, but they're still here, I will definitely say I did go through a phase of being mad with them. And even losing someone close to me. I know I've gone through a stage where I'm I'm mad at the world, and I'm like, why this person? Why did they have to leave me? So I've definitely gone through a state of anger and being mad. Okay. Confusion. You want to elaborate?
Why?
Just questioning God.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, why?
My first thing, I'd be like, yeah, y'all lying. I don't believe it.
That'd be my first line, girl, you lying, stop playing.
Somebody pass it up,
It's shocking.
You want to know what's crazy? I always wanted to know, why do people say that? Why would I lie and say somebody passed away?
But trying to hear that.
Last year
they
were doing
that
prank on TikTok saying that such and such died, but it was really a prank. People just do.
No, I don't play like that because the Lord will definitely make an example out of me.
I just be having to make sure you said what you said.
Saying that such a famous person died or somebody close to them.
Oh yeah.
You go to your mom or
When that
something.
dude did Angela Bassett, when Michael B. Jordan, he told his mama that she had passed. He passed, but he didn't pass.
I don't know why they.
But that was a prank.
Like that, but they do.
I don't do stuff I can't do stuff like that because if that happened, why would you do that?
Now it's beef
Why would you do that?
So I have a question. For those of you who say your initial response is anger, who are you angry at?
Everybody. I remember when my aunt passed, I was acting up in school, acting up at home. I was just mad at the world.
Because you ain't got nobody to really point it out to.
You guys, we got a guest today, Pastor.
Oh yeah,
the big man in charge.
So a lot of times the anger is not so much directed towards a person. The anger is because you have to now adapt to the new. The new of not having that person or that situation anymore. And thank you all, first of all, for inviting me to come and be in this podcast with you all, this setting. because grief is still fresh with me. 2024, new assignment in ministry, some 500 miles away from where I was born and raised, on a new journey, and my mom dies. Months after I accept my new assignment, Mom died. It had me on a roller coaster, and I still had to try to preach. I had to pull off a balancing act. And I'm jumping the gun with you guys, but we as a culture, as a race of people, we shy away from encouraging our loved ones to seek counseling. Mm-hmm. It only helps us to pull out those things that we mask. And so when we say anger, a lot of times we think it's at an individual, but it's at the situation. Mm-hmm. So I recommend for grief, seeking counsel.
And you know, you have a lot of men around your age who are dealing with grief and stuff, but they always be like, black men don't go to counseling. They love saying that. But I just be like, y'all need it. But I have a lot of older men who have told me they handle their situation without going to counseling.
And a lot of times it's because they're afraid of pulling out that inner issue. Me, counseling was the best thing I can do. I was pastoring. I was still trying to be a husband. I was still trying to be a father. I was still trying to be a friend. All the while losing me, not being able to find me. And so counseling was the best thing for me because it helped me pull out those underlying things that on the norm I just wouldn't talk about. But when I got with the counselor, they helped pull those things out. And every session, I found myself getting stronger and stronger. We as, call it as it is, a black race, we often relate that to one being grief or one needing to seek, call it what it is, psychiatric treatment without the medication. We call that being weak. We stereotype them. And so forever and a day in our culture, we have shied away from facing it for what it is. When we get to the point of telling our brothers and sisters, it's all right to cry. It's all right to show your emotions. There's an old saying, better out than in. Mm-hmm. We had a saying growing up, pressure bust pipes. And so when we get to the point where we encourage our fellow brothers and sisters, it's all right to seek counseling. I believe, one, homes will be healthier, lifestyles will be better, and suicide will decrease when we stand behind one another and encourage counseling. Not just counseling on abroad, but spiritual counseling as well.
Because these past 2-3 weeks, it's been a roller coaster. Because my granddad has health problems, so, but I've never been there to like, like to see it like firsthand. And I saw it firsthand, the ambulance coming in there, firefighters coming in there. And he didn't want to go. He was like, I'll be all right. I said, no, go. I'll be okay. And I held myself up until he got out there, and then I just let it go. Because I'm like, I've never seen it. And then the minute that I thought, okay, he all right, he coded twice. Mm-hmm. Then I didn't know. The next day I went to the hospital. I was like, okay, he up and talking. I go in the room. He got tubes in his mouth. He's sedated. He not even like conscious. Like he not even up. And I just see him and he just laying there. And I'm like, wow. And then he always say, my prayers will be answered when I see you through graduation. I graduated. Mm-hmm. But now it's like I need you here more than that. Like I need you here with me. Because like I said, when that happened, I just went in a state of numbness. Then after a while I just broke. And then after that everything was like it went to being okay, but like I haven't been myself like for these past 2-3 weeks. Like I just been work, hospital every chance I can get because I don't know if something else will happen. That might be my last time seeing him. So I haven't got the grief yet, but I know that it's coming, and I know that I'm not prepared.
You'll never be prepared for that.
As much as you try,
it like with Jasmine, Robert, and I.
Wait, can I? Okay, go ahead. But I was gonna piggyback on what you said. I was in a sort of similar situation when I was younger. My grandfather had health issues. I knew of said health issues, but I had never seen him in the state that he was in. When we finally had went up there to visit him, we seen him that night. That next morning he passed away, and literally for years, and I mean years, I mean up until about a year and a half ago, if you asked me anything about my grandfather, anything that he's ever showed me, anything I've ever done with him, I couldn't remember anything, and the only memory I had of him was when I walked in the house and I seen the EMT workers working on him. That is the only memory I had of my grandfather for years.
And for a while, even like with our situation, like we knew that he was sick and they had told us, you know, like we need to come see him and stuff. But we didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. Yeah. We was there with him all day long. And he said one thing the entire time we were there. He literally made a joke. He was like, because my mom was like, you see how big they got? He said, they bigger than you. And he started laughing. And that was the only thing he said the entire time. And I know for a while I was angry because everyone, he told us he loved us. And I was angry, because the night it all happened, the night that we saw him, I went into the room and he had a tear, one single teardrop falling from his eye. And I said, it's okay. And I wish I did it because the next day he was gone. We walked into the room and they were working on him. But he was already gone. And for the longest, it felt like I watched him go. And I was angry because everybody knew he was going. Everybody except us, because he had this thing that they talk about when people are older and they sick, and it's called the death rattle. Mm-hmm. It's how they breathe. And I didn't know that's what that meant. So walking in that room and telling him it's okay, it was like I told him, like, you can go. And I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah, and so you'll never truly be ready for anyone to leave your life. Mm-hmm. Whether that's just you guys growing apart, or it being your parents, your grandparents. I wasn't ready for my poppy to die, and I'm gonna be honest, for the longest I said, with the amount of health issues my grandmother had, I said, oh, she ain't never gonna die. She might get sick, but she ain't gonna die. That's a strong woman, man. And so
when it finally the day it happened, it was like, wow.
I'm gonna be honest. I will say I truly believe I'm still in denial about her being gone. I saw her, I touched her, I kissed her, I told her I loved her after she was gone. So I saw her, but I'm still at a point where I'm like, I don't know who that was, but the emotion, and that's just, these are the steps and the things you go through. Sadly, these are some of the things that you have to go through in this journey called life.
And another thing though, honestly speaking, don't let somebody tell you how to grieve.
Right.
It hits everybody at different times. It hits everybody at a different pace. When my grandmother had passed away, I was sad, but I was perfectly fine. And it's weird how it hit you. It wasn't even a slow song. They were singing, Jesus said, if you lean on me, at the end of the funeral, and I start boohoo crying. I'm talking about snot coming out my nose crying. And I was perfectly fine. I'm not gonna say I was perfectly fine. I was a little sad, but I never had got to that point, and then
it was the combo of I shall wear a crown and that.
Takara was laid out
Please,
in the corner.
Don't
So here is what happens. I want to touch back on what Jasmine was speaking about when she said to her poppy, it's okay. Don't live in the point of feeling like you open the door for him to exit. You're not God. What you might have done was giving your grandfather an opportunity to know that my grandbabies are going to be okay. And as selfish as it may sound, he was a pastor preacher. So to him, and the last thing to leave a person is the hearing. To him, for him to hear his grandbaby say, it's okay, could have been to him, my labor has not been in vain. And so as selfish as it may sound, sometimes we have to take that big boy, big girl position because we know we serve a God who's able to keep us in the midst of our storms. Are we ready for the storms? Never will be. Can we weather the storm? Because we know the storm chaser, yes. But it's called leaning and depending more so on God. Prime example, my mother left. My mother had 10 children. I single-handedly pretty much dealt my mother's funeral arrangements, her burial place. I even eulogized my mom. I thought I was fine. And in the process, out the corner of my eye, I saw your mom looking like, is he going to be all right? I even had strength to do the committal. But my breaking point, when all of it crashed, think about it. When it happened, your mom, days before our anniversary, failed. So it just take, as Robert said, one song, and the song wasn't even a sad song. It take one situation to happen, and boom, everything is spiraling out of control. Where am I going with this? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Grief does not give us any warnings. One minute you could be laughing, next minute you're sobbing, crying.
Well, since I cried about Poppy or Grandma Hilda or anybody, it's like I'll literally be just fine. I could tell the story of everything and I'd be fine. It's like just now though,
cry. I'm like, that's not crying.
And honestly, I'm thinking back to it now. I think the only person who's passed or something like that, like grieving somebody, when sometimes I think the only person who in the moment it hit me in that exact moment was my auntie Lois, and that's cause my auntie Lois, like, that was my dog, man. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing about her, but it was the fact that I felt like when I was told that she had passed away, I was like, wow, when is the last time you spoke to her, Robert? That was the first thing that came to my mind. When is the last time you had a conversation with her? And when it hit me like that, I remember my mom and dad told me, I sat down on the floor and I had my head in my lap. I was like, wow. Like it was, but it always feels like as if it could come at you from a different angle every time. It'll be moments where, like my dad said, you'll be laughing and having a good old time, and then boom, you're sad. Or it could be moments where you're upset, and then boom, you're sad. Or you already be sad, and then you'll think about that, and it's like it'll spiral. But at the end of the day, and even though it's easier to say it than do it, you have to just trust in God that everything will be all right. And as I've gotten older, going back to about Poppy, as I've gotten older, whenever I get sad about my grandfather, the first thing that comes to mind is if it's anybody in heaven, I bet some money that is Donnie. I bet some good money that is Donnie. If there's anybody up there. So it's like, I feel like that's like a way to like boost my spirit.
Because you have this gut feeling that if there's anybody up there that you really want to see other than Jesus, then what it does is it pushes you to live a life like Christ.
And that's the growth part.
So what I will say is that I'm trying not to cry out because it's fresh, like it just happened, but it kind of pushed me in a way to I don't know how to explain it, like do more with him. Like
You gonna want to do that.
yeah.
Take advantage of
The saying, don't put off tomorrow.
Yeah.
What would you do today?
So now, like, I call him every day, and then, like, it just.
You got that. God granted you that opportunity.
See, and a lot of people don't get that opportunity. Like me, myself, my godmother, she was my second mama. I've known my godmother all my life. She was my mom's sister, and she passed back in 2019. And when she passed, we were not on good terms. The night that she went to the hospital, we actually had got to this huge altercation. Things were thrown in the house, words were said, looks were given, and the last thing I can remember was I looked my godmama in her eye and was kind of like, I said something smart, I'm not gonna lie. I said something smart, I said something that I probably shouldn't have said to her, but that was the last thing that I said to her. And so when I found out that she passed away, I was mad. We're going back to the anger thing. I was mad at myself. I wasn't even mad at anybody else. I was mad at myself because I was like, the last thing that she saw, at least from me, was a look of disgust, was a look of anger, was a look of like, what's going on? And you don't want that to be the last thing for your loved one. Like, Savannah, cherish your granddaddy. Tell him you love him every day. Go see him every day. Let him know that you love him, because my godmom died thinking I hated her. And to me, like I said, this was like 6 years ago, but to me, I still think she died thinking I hated her. I love that woman with my entire heart. Like my godmom, could you know, mom, when I was in the outs with my mama, I'd call my Nina. Nina, come get your sister. Nina, can I come to your house? And without a doubt, she'd drop everything and come and get me or do whatever. And so when she died, I wasn't angry at anybody else. I was angry at myself because I was like, I could have did better. I should have did better, and now I don't get to. I don't get to tell her
Nina, I love you. I didn't get to tell her, Nina, I'm so thankful for everything that you've ever done for me. And it sucks. You don't want that to be the last thing that your loved one thinks. I didn't want to believe it. Like, when I got to the hospital and I seen my mama and all my family and they were crying, I was like, you guys are liars. She's fine. She's awake. I'm going to go see her. You're fine. And I marched down that hallway and I opened the door and she was there and it just looked like she was sleeping. But she had already passed away. And like what you guys say, you could be in the most happiest. The other day, I was so happy. I forgot what I was doing. But then a song came on. It wasn't a sad song. It was a country song, y'all. It was a country song about some boy she was in love with that she didn't get to have. But I boo-hoo cried because I can remember the very first time I heard that song. I was in the car with my Nina in Atlanta, and we were getting Krispy Kreme donuts. And she said, my Nina couldn't sing worth a lick. She couldn't hold a tune to save her life. But she sang that song with all her little heart because she loved that song. And I'm sitting here boo-hoo crying on the interstate over a country song, y'all. Like, she passed away a couple months before I graduated. And, graduation's supposed to be happy. And I was happy. But to think that she wasn't there with me, that she didn't get to see me graduate, even though I didn't really graduate. But that's besides the point. She wasn't there, and it sucked. We got what we got, but it sucked. It really, and I was angry because she wasn't there. I wanted her to be there. I felt like she, not even for me, she deserved to see that. She helped my mama raise me, and she didn't get to see it. And so, for a while, I was very angry, not at anybody else, but at myself. And the question, everybody says, oh, you're not supposed to question God. I did. My question was why? Why her? Why now? Because she wasn't the healthiest, but she had nothing wrong with her. At least to our knowledge, she had diabetes. Okay, cool. Everybody got diabetes. Not everybody, but not everybody. But some people have it and they're fine. She had high blood pressure, but she took her medicine. We thought she was fine. Y'all, 2 months before she left, she went to California. She had pictures of her on the beach having a grand old time, and we're like, she's fine. She's just fine. The night she died, she had a heart attack, and it came out of nowhere. And we were all like, why? Why her? Why us? Why now? What's going on? And I felt bad for asking why. Like, I know you're not supposed to question why. But at the same time, I'm like, why? Can help me understand why. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's okay to ask a question, but never doubt.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Remember the Bible says, in all that getting, get
understanding.
I was trying to find it for so long.
And that's always been one of my things when people say don't question God and stuff like that. I'm like, no, don't doubt God. But if you have a question and you want him to reveal something to you, you can ask him a question.
So here's what happens. A lot of people become over sanctimonious, over spiritual.
Absolutely.
You're not questioning God, you're questioning the situation. And you want clarity of the situation. And the only way you get clarity of the situation is by asking questions. And so I was brought up on the principles, the only dumb question is the question you don't ask. And yeah, Jasmine, you don't doubt him. Don't doubt him. He's infinite. Don't doubt him because he knows all. But when you don't know, you're not faulted for not knowing. You're faulted when you don't know and you don't ask.
That's like school. That's how they teach you in school. You can't,
And I think that's why I was so angry, because I was questioning the situation. Because when my aunt passed, I was on 12 years old, but my sister and all my cousins, to me, I was a little jealous because they was all grown, 18 out of high school, 19, 20, 21. They had more memories with her than I did. And it made me jealous. Like, Auntie would never see me walk across and say me just graduation. I was used to calling my auntie every day, first day of school, telling her how my day went. But it made me so mad because I didn't get that. Everybody else got that, but that way just when she passed, I couldn't grieve how I wanted to because she passed away 3 days after my nephew was born. So it was like a bittersweet moment because we had this newborn baby, but we also just lost somebody very close to us. And maybe, like, I was angry with the world, cutting up at school, cutting up at home, and then one day my mama just finally asked me, she like, this is not you, what's going on? And I broke down, I told her, I miss Auntie. Like, I didn't get those opportunities that everybody else did with her. Like, yes, I have memories, but to me, it felt like it wasn't enough memories compared to what everybody else got.
And the selfish side of us will always say that. That's the selfish side of us. Because even if you had gotten it, you would still say you didn't get it. You didn't get it now. And I can't thank you all enough for allowing me to come and sit in on this session. Wow. So let me share with you, as a pastor, you all just express how you feel with losing loved ones. I'm new on an assignment, and I remember it forever. 1 o'clock in the morning, my phone rings. One of the first people I meet on my new assignment was so jovial and so outspoken, and I get the phone call, she's gone. I'm like, God, can't be. This can't be. This just can't be. But then I realized it had to be. Because the Lord says we're all going to leave. But what we do with our current time, I believe, plays a big part when that individual is no longer with us. We have to stop delaying showing love, sharing love, and letting love be felt. Because grief is real. And a lot of people don't understand, just as real as grief is, it also kills. That's why it goes back to one of y'all saying, men don't express their feelings. They're told not to express their feelings, suppress these things. But that very thing you suppress will be the very thing that lay you to rest.
I can say when my grandmother, like you said, having time, we knew she had cancer. I was angry because she had survived cancer 20 plus years.
You finna make me mad. Cause I ain't know that, and I was just talking about your grandma. That's who I was talking about. You finna make me mad. Y'all holding secrets and stuff.
She had it 20 plus years, and she was a survivor, and how she was, you would never know. If she had any sad downtime, she was always on go. But when it came out of the blue. She had been feeling funny, and I was like, oh. And it's funny, you preached, and I was just one else about God's will. And I said, I was like, whatever it happens, it's gonna be God's will, whether she's to be here or to be gone, because I had just had a baby. And Savannah, I understand what you said, as seeing it, like seeing her being this on the go person to just not doing anything, that was hard. Of course I went to see her and stuff, but not knowing, like if it's gonna be it, and just seeing her like just weak, losing weight, and then having like this.
within a month, she was gone from when she got diagnosed. It was a lot to see my mom, her sisters, they all grieved differently. It was different. And when it happened, like I said, I prayed. I was like, you know what, it's God's will. Of course, I was angry, sad, overwhelmed, because it was like, what's going to happen? We had plans. She was going to be AJ's babysitter. So it was like, I was all excited. His BB, she was excited. That's all she talked about was AJ. Of course, I was her favorite grandchild, but she never had it. So it was just a lot to take in. Just like, and I kind of got mad at people not grieving the way I grieved, which I was told you can't really be upset with for grieving because you don't know what they are grieving. They could be upset at themselves too at the fact that I didn't get to see her, or I had to kind of be more of an adult. Which when my grandfather passed away, that was a different time. I was in college. Now that was hard. So this time, even though I was prepared for it, I guess I was mature in my word, my relationship with God. So it kind of made it somewhat easy. Is it easy? No, it's not. It's a daily process. I do hold things in, which I need to get better at that because it can. You hold it in and people assume, oh, she's good because she's doing X, Y, Z, she's on the go. But it still can get you when you least expect it, and God will slow you down. So I know.
I have a real bad habit of going.
Yeah.
And that's just to keep my
Just
mind.
to distract yourself.
Yes, it's to distract myself. And I have a really, really, really bad habit of it because anytime, like, not even dealing with grief or with my granddad, anytime something, a milestone happens in my life or something, I always pick up more to distract myself from it. And then I end up overworking myself and tiring myself out. And then to the point where, like, I'm just exhausted. Like, I don't have no more energy to give or nothing. I'm just done for it.
Yeah, I've been on go. Her 2-year anniversary is coming up. So it's like I've been trying to keep myself busy. And then, like, I feel like some people don't talk about her, and it's like, it bothers me. But I've learned to be like, I know what relationship we had. It makes it easier, which, of course, I wish AJ, he got to meet her, but he didn't get to remember.
And that's like it is with my auntie. When my nephew was born, my auntie came to the hospital. Like, the very last picture we have of her is her holding my nephew. And it's just like, Thursday will make 15 years that she's been gone. But it never gets easy. Like, it never gets easy. And it's still certain songs that I cannot listen to because it reminds me of her. Each song that was played at her funeral, I know those songs, but when I hear them, I have to change them immediately because it makes me think of her. And it makes me think of that day that we put her in the ground. And I just wasn't ready to say goodbye.
There's a song like that for me. There's actually several songs. It was Sunday, November 6th.
Nope.
And
because if I ever hear I Need You, I'm
by
gonna jump down the stairs.
And at that point, my parents, I don't know if they had just got a new car, that they was just splurging because they had Sirius XL. So they had the Kurt Franklin radio station. And,
We was in SCTS.
We was in that car, the XTS. And,
we was in CTS.
The Cool?
Yes, because
we were not as cool. We was in that car. But regardless, they had the Kurt Franklin radio station, and every Sunday at around 9 a.m. on the Kurt Franklin radio station that year, they played I Need You by Donnie McClurkin. Why do I know this? Because every Sunday after that, around 9 a.m., that song came on the radio. And I remember we were sitting in the car, and I heard the ambulance first. And I said, what's that noise? And we turned the radio down and we heard it. And I want to say, my mama put the pedal to the metal.
She was doing 70 to 25, boy.
we were like, what literally right there. So we were trying to figure out where it's
Because
coming
they was
from.
rushing us.
Yeah.
If
They
they
had
had never called us to be
and
like, y'all need
y'all
to get
over
here,
here.
we
And
would have
was-
never thought anything of the ambulance.
And I was like, that song, I Need You, but I want to cry. I turn that on. I'll look at some pictures of my granddaddy. Because that's what that song takes me back to Sunday, November 6th at 9 a.m.
Every time.
when everything happened. And I just that song is that's what that, and then Pass Me Not. So y'all ever see me? They him in preparation. Pass Me Not. I'd be like, all right, let me put my head down. You ain't gonna catch me this Sunday. But those are the songs that do it to me, and it's just like they are connected to someone who was so influential, and it was like
Because our grandpa, he wasn't like just like anybody. Like our grandpa was not that tall. He was very slim. But it felt like you were literally in front of a giant.
Yeah.
Whenever you stood by him, it literally felt like you were in a room with a giant.
And
hearing him preach or sing, and then you gotta hear my mama say, he could preach now, but you should have heard him when he was younger.
Another thing about him, it was like, it not only just preaching and singing, his voice in general. My grandfather could have convinced me to go to war. He could have been like I'll tell you this right now. I despise olives, like is it fruit or vegetable, whatever it is. Olives, like the food, I despise them. That man got me to try an olive 3 times. And it almost convinced me that I liked them. He almost convinced me that and that's just how I feel like that's how influential he was to my life. And I know we've kind of passed it, but just to piggyback on how you guys were saying earlier about holding stuff in, and this is to go with the second part of the topic, because we've been talking a lot about grief, but not necessarily about the growth part of it. But I had a very bad issue with holding stuff in. I would, and this is no lie, you can ask my sisters. In terms of being like mentally hurt or anything of that nature, I wouldn't necessarily shed tears or feel some type of way. I try not to put myself in that headspace. If anything, it was more so anger than it was me being sad. And I remember one day, my senior year of high school, I'm walking home. And I break down in tears, and to my luck, my sister is driving in the neighborhood. Like, she don't ever drive through this side of the neighborhood, but this time she's driving through the side of the neighborhood, and she pulls over, and she lets me in the car, and she looks at, and this is Jasmine, she looks at my face, and she's like, she literally parks her car, and is like, what's wrong? You don't cry. I don't remember the last time I've seen you cry. What's going on with you? And for the longest, my answer to everyone was, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why I feel the way I feel. I don't know the things that the emotions that I'm feeling. But as I got a little older, and this didn't happen that long ago, but as I started trying to pray more and grow more spiritually, the answers revealed themselves to me. You're holding on to stuff that you had no control over. You're holding on to stuff that you weren't in charge of. You can't beat yourself up and try and get upset with yourself over something that was in God's control. And at the end of the day, you have to not only learn to accept what God is doing, but you have to learn to almost encourage it. It's the Bible says, Lord, let your will be done. Not my will, not your will, not my dad's will, but let his will be done. And so you can't be too sad or too upset about said situation, because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about more than you. You have to look at it from that perspective, and it'll make it like an easier situation to deal with.
So to jump into like our next portion, My first question for you guys is going to be,
Second.
well, yeah, for this section, this is my first question. Do you guys allow your grief to stop your faith, or do you allow it to fuel your future?
Okay. Because wait a minute. Recently, I don't know what it is, but I have had a really hard time praying, and I don't know why. I have Evangelist Adams gave us a prayer journal. I used to write down every night. I used to call it my little Bible study, but I would write down my prayers in a notebook. But recently, I have had a really hard time praying, and I do not know why. I just can't. I don't know why. I keep asking him, show me, deliver me, show me.
And it's just hard. Your thing could be that, right? Your prayer could be you sitting and listening for God to tell you what you need to be doing. Because I know you said I do. You gotta sit and just listen. And if your prayer is consistently, God, all right, amen. And then you go on about your day. When did you allow God to say, Savannah, this is what I want from you. This is what I need you to do. If your prayer is consistently, all right, bye. Right? You got it. All right. Okay, God, here's my first question, or here's my first statement that I present to you. What is it that you would have me to do? And sit there and wait for his answer. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, Savannah, you're saying that you're having a difficult time praying.
Yes, and reading my.
That's all. That's it.
Okay.
How do you deal with that first? When you find yourself in that situation, it's because it's not time for you to talk to God, but it's time for you to hear from God. It's called listening to him. When you can't find something to say to him, it's because it's time for you to hear what he has to say to you. So just find time, carve out time from your schedule, and just lay before him. Just be before him. Let God tell you what he needs you to do. So
I'm sorry, I'm afraid to eat my hormones. Won't do the roof is hot.
Can I say something? We need to be, sometimes when it comes to talking to God, we need to be more like Matthew 6. If you read Matthew 6, it's just Jesus talking. Just shut up.
So yeah, that's you just gotta open your ears and sit there and listen, and it's just like, and here's the thing, your answer may not be immediate, and you have to be okay with that. You have, you can't be anything else but okay with that, or else you're going to continue to be in a spot where you feel like it's hard to pray.
What the song say? You may not come
when you want them, but it's always on time. There you go. There you go.
Yes, he is.
On time, God. Yes.
Don't make me go get the tape. So just piggybacking off of Pastor and Takara, just continue to remember that prayer is a conversation. And think about in like terms of having a conversation with somebody right here. Two people are talking. So make sure that you give opportunity to hear what the other person has to say. So just remember that.
For instance,
whenever you find yourself stuck, literally just be like, okay, Lord, what do you want me to hear?
You ever been, and I'm not saying you're in trouble with God, but you ever been in trouble with your grandma and you having a conversation with her? Majority of that conversation, who talking? You or her?
It doesn't have necessarily that you gotta be in trouble. Right, you didn't say, you said it.
You don't
But
gotta be
here's
in
the
bad
thing
trouble.
about it is,
Hey, it's always good to be in good trouble.
trouble. So here it is. It does not necessarily have to be trouble. A revelation could have been revealed to your grandmother or your mother. And when you go before them, they're doing all the talking. And so at that point, it's not for you to talk, it's for you to consume, absorb. And there are times when we can't find words to say to him, and it's solely because it's not our time to talk to him. It's our time to listen to him or just be in his presence. Here's why. Because you want to, as Takara said, rattle off your little prayer and go on about your business. A lot of times he silences us, growth. He silences us to keep us out of harm's way. And so delaying us from a disaster. When we can't articulate words, it's because he's orchestrating our next move. And so we have to stay before him.
And remember that Congress, remember that there are 4 ways to hear from him. And it might not be a big booming voice from the sky, so remember, know that it may just be you asking for clarification on the situation, and you decide to turn your Bible to Psalms 121, or you turn your Bible to Proverbs 4:3, or you turn your Bible to Luke 5:7. Like, I don't know what scriptures I just rattled off, but it just might be that the Lord is leading you to read those scriptures to help you with your situation. And maybe you getting confirmation through a conversation you have with another person who you have yet to tell the situation to. They can just come up here and be like, Samantha, don't worry about X, Y, and Z. You know God got you. You know this gonna be covered, right? Like, so remember those things, right? We learned them at Congress, so you know all 4 too. You got the papers and everything, but like, just know, like, it may not be immediate, and it may not just be a voice. It could be through you randomly on the way to work and the song that's playing. It may not even be a completely gospel song, but the message in the song is still something that.
About the name Jesus.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
But yeah, just keep that in mind too. Like, it may not be a big booming voice, because sometimes that's what people want to hear or what people expect. Like, they ask God a question and it's just like, all right,
Freeman from the top.
I'm waiting. What you said, I'll hear you. Just know that it ain't always that.
So, for me to like answer my own question, I feel like I was a little bit of both. I feel like when I was younger, like when I initially lost my grandfather, I want to say after singing at his funeral, it was kind of just like one of those things, like I went through this moment where it was like, I don't want to sing no more. Like, I'm done singing. I don't want to sing. And even a little bit after that, like once I hit 18, 19, I got really into like the workforce and stuff like that. Like, I started to find jobs where I had to work on Sundays, so that was my excuse. Oh, I got work, I don't gotta sing. I got work, I don't gotta go to choir rehearsal. I got work, I don't gotta go to Bible study. Like, it was just like I stopped doing all the things. And it's like, now that I'm older, I definitely feel like it fuels me, because 2 of the biggest losses I can say I've had a lot of loss, but the biggest ones for me, there's actually a couple of them. So my Auntie Bunny, I don't
really believe she went to church. However, she always had something to say about my daddy preaching. So I was like, she would be disappointed in me. Then it was like, okay, my grandpa was a pastor, not just a preacher. He was a pastor. Like, I was like, if my grandpa was here right now and I was talking about I don't want to sing or I'm not going to church, how would he look at me? And I know exactly how Hilda Odessa McCullough would feel about that. Because
The full government is insane.
Miss Ma'am used to get me on Saturdays and I would have to go to 7 a.m. service and 10 o'clock service, and don't let that be a 3 o'clock service because I was going to all of them. Every single service I had to go to. She would feed me and I'd be okay, you know, whatever, but I had no choice. I was going to all 3 services.
And Sunday school.
And Sunday school.
And
My
then
grandma did
Sundays.
it, so it's like if I was to turn my back on God, how would they look at me?
Them Sundays, Grandma will have us start off at First Baptist, and then Mom and Dad will bring us over to Brownsville or wherever else we was at.
Literally, and then we'll have a 3 o'clock service.
Boy.
We was up from early to late. Like there was no
We'll
time.
be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We wouldn't be back to the house by 5. It's just like we gonna work the full shift.
That was my auntie. She had us up every morning. We had to go, not only we go to Sunday school here, we went to breakfast too. So you had to, then don't let you be sick to go to church, or you too sick to go to church, you couldn't go out the house the whole day.
Can't go out your
And play that, she made sure we was active, whether we usher, dance, choir, or we were gonna do something. We just couldn't sit down. Auntie Funky didn't play.
I
feel like that's
parents
why-
didn't go to church. My grandma's family got us. Her and my grandfather. He delivered breakfast to the sick and shut-in, so I thought it was fun to do that at the time. But I get up, we'll go get breakfast, deliver it, so I get candy and stuff for people. And my grandmother, if we didn't go, was like, you must be sick. Yeah, God was coming to get me. But I enjoyed it, you know.
I got a question. I'm having trouble trying to answer your question because how you even know when you grieve, how you can grow and you don't even know, like, just like you said, like, from my grandma passing up until Aunt Brenda passing, we had lost 3 other sisters. And on top of that, I lost my grandfather. And the same day Aunt Brenda died, I was already feeling some type of way. Still went to work. Got a call. My grandma passed. Same day Aunt Brenda passed. I just felt like I was still holding on. But then my grandma passed so unexpectedly. I just felt like I just went off the cliff. Like, it was already bad enough. Like, my auntie gone. Like, my auntie played a big part in my life. Like, she was, just like she was going to be AJ babysitter, she was my babysitter, like, from what, 5th grade on the way up. So, when, I do thank God, though, because the last time I did see my uncle, she was sitting on the couch. She wanted herself, she was weak, but she like, go get that ice for me out the freezer. I said, all right. You already know me, I'm the child that can't never find nothing. She like, how you don't see that ice in there? It's in there. Jamise. So I'm looking forward to one had to come find the ice. I'm just like, I don't see it, man. Where is it? But the fact that she was in such a good mood that day, and then when she passed, I guess I was asleep. Like, I couldn't, my mom was trying to get me up, but I just wouldn't get up, I guess. And I had woke up to the news. What I'm trying to say is, like, when you go through so much, how you even know you still, like, I don't even know. Like, I go to work, but it's just like, ain't nothing that's,
How do you know you're growing in a
yeah, like, ain't nothing fulfilling me. Like, when I go to work, I'm there. I'm not there, but I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, like, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it in words. Like, it's
going through the motion.
Yeah, just pretty much what it is, just going through the motion. Like, it just, everything just hit you all at once. Like, right when my first grandma, Aunt Brenda's sister passed, we had Aunt Brenda pass. Then Aunt Londa passed. And then Aunt Brenda passed. So it's kind of like, oh my God, like, back to back.
When does it stop?
It's 6 of them. It's 2 that still living. My grandma was the first.
I was gonna say I did.
Cause I heard
She was
Brenda. They were twins. Brenda and Linda was
Brenda and Linda was twins.
Brenda and Glenda. Who's Glenda? No, Linda.
Linda and Brenda.
Glenda is Deacon Hurd's wife.
Yeah.
I think when Miss Hurd passed, that hurt me because every time she sees she was my son's school teacher, and she said, "Girl, you got your new hairstyle every week." Like she was the one who basically raised me coming up into the church from a little girl.
You wanna know what's so funny? I think I'm one of the last babies that she had in her Sunday school class. But I was gone. I didn't even know that she. My bad. I'm with the baby, y'all. Sorry.
We can sit from there.
But I didn't even know that she had passed until one day my grandma was like, you know, one of your Sunday school teachers left. I'm like, who? Like, because I wasn't here. But what's so funny is Brenda was the person who got me ready for baptism all the time. And was the week after. I got in the car, Granny had picked me up from school. She's like, you know, Brenda passed. I'm like, who? She was like, because I'm not good with names. I know faces. I've been here all my life and I still don't know people's names, and that's a shame. But like,
I feel like everybody know my name. I'm saying, I feel like everybody know my name. I'll be trying to. You have a good week too.
but like, that is funny. Like, the week after, like, I've been here my whole life, and I had just got baptized, like, actually 2 years, because I got baptized,
She helped you.
I got baptized, past the anniversary. So, she got me ready, and then a week later, I was like, that is...
And you see how she was from then, from what we ended up with.
Like,
Brenda wasn't Brenda no more.
And it's I have memories with all 4 of your aunties. Like, your grandmama, she was in love with my Uncle Pixie.
Oh my God, don't say hard things. Don't bring Pixie
And Miss Brenda, you know, that was the sewing queen. If I needed help with my dresses, she held me up no matter what. Linda, every time Frank got the mic, she gonna be the main one up on the floor. Nobody else stand up. When Frank sing, she was gonna sing. And Miss Hurd, you know, she was the Sunday school, everybody's favorite Sunday school teacher.
So I guess to answer your question, Jasmine, I did let it stop because when I walked back in church for the first time, I seen Pastor in front of me. I'm like, who are these folks? I'm walking in, I'm talking to everybody that I know. I said, I bet they probably like, who they like around? I'm like, man, I gotta get to know everybody again. But like, I didn't do that. For real, I was like, oh my God, thank you. Look, I'm telling you, like, it's been so long, man. Look, and then look, you gotta describe it. That's But I was just like, you know, when I walked back in, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, it was different because it was like maybe a couple Sundays. Nah, I knew it was after Aunt Brenda's funeral. Like, not right then, but it was after her funeral. So when I had stepped in for the first time, it was hard because I was like, dang, I'm so used to seeing her sitting right there, Aunt Linda beside her. You got Aunt Glenda on the other side. But I did let it stop me. And I don't even know why. Like, I guess because this is home. Like, this just home for me. And even though, like, when I ain't gonna lie, I did try. I tried to go to another church. I'm just like, this ain't it. I don't even know these folks in here. I'm like, this ain't it. So I was like, I'm gonna just have to go on back to my church. But when I walked in, and everybody just greeted me like I ain't never left. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to start coming back. Cause I felt like in people, my auntie was talking to me, like, they'll say something, I'd be like, man, my auntie would have told me that. I'd be like, you not my auntie, you can't tell me that. And I'm like, you know, maybe God got no speaking to me for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be liking it though, when the old people, they be like, man, you look just like your grandma. Oh, Brenda, you know Brenda would get you for that. I be like, man, yeah, I know. But it be feeling good though. I appreciate y'all welcoming me back in. You know, I ain't been here for a while. See, that's growth though. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? That's growth.
When you said at one point it had stopped you.
I couldn't even step foot in here.
But watch, right? You was in service today, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't even gonna come today.
What he preached.
When you fall,
get back. And hold up, but not only that, the world counted you out the game, but they didn't know it was just halftime.
Facts, man.
You had to take a break.
You know, I was a bench player.
You had to go.
But the star is back.
You had to go in there.
Yeah, I had to get a long pep talk.
Like I know with me, so really
we got pep talks. We still lost.
So really, for you to answer the question, it may have stopped you for a while, but in reality, it didn't stop you. You're back, and not only are you back, you're active in the young adult industry. Right? You on like you join every single young adult meeting we have. You're here in our podcast, so you're growing.
Love that Miss Andrea, she talking about something. So I'm gonna see you next Sunday in the choir. I said I knew you were looking at me for a minute. And I was standing up there, she just kept looking at me, so I'm like, I'm singing. I said, well, how much more bet she gonna ask me? So I'm gonna see you next Sunday right in the choir.
I know with me, he wasn't blood family, but I know when we lost our choir director back in South Florida. I will say it. I can like agree with you that walking in and not seeing that person there, it does something to you because like I still don't think I'd be able to like walk in that church and look up to the Marsden area and expect like I could look up there and see him up there from like how often he was there, and it's just like I re-downloaded Snapchat on my phone. Don't ask why. I re-downloaded Snapchat on my phone and I'm like looking at my memories and it's just like I see in a video he's sitting in the choir stand singing and I'm just like wow, like he was really always there, and it's just like up until like us leaving.
So unexpected.
Yes, he did.
And you know how crazy it was?
Shocking.
Jasmine came in my room, and there were two people at our church
Named Brother Brown.
Jasmine came in my room and said, Brother Brown passed away. And I was like, oh no, like that's sad, like, cause he was a good guy. I was like, that's sad. That like really hurt my. He is a good guy. He's still here. He is a good guy. I was like, oh no, like that's sad, right? And then I heard like 5 minutes later, she was like, Paris. I was like, who?
That's Paris.
No. I thought we were no. Nah.
So it was definitely like a lot, like processing. I remember I cried that whole night after finding that out.
Some things don't sound.
I feel like it hit me the worst at the like the funeral.
When his sister
and the
started
viewing.
singing.
Yeah, when his sister sang.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy had me on the floor about to roll on the ground.
Oh,
I was going to roll to the casket.
We was on the balcony.
From the balcony, y'all.
Yeah.
But like it was just like it was so much like walking, like to walk in, and it's like here's the thing, we would get there on time. He was always a couple minutes late, and so he would walk in, and it was just like. For the long, like the Sunday after he passed, I remember sitting in the car stand being like, he's gonna walk through that back door. He's gonna walk through that back door. He has to walk through that back door. Like he can't be gone. He has to be here. And like it took everything in me to like, cause he was the reason I wanted to be a teacher, like a history teacher, because I just remember him being such this amazing person, and like he was so in love with his career. And I just remember being like, yeah, oh, I took my history EOC that year, and I took it in like May. He passed late June. And I got my results like a week after he passed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I like just wish I could tell him, because I was just like, this is what I want to do. I want to be like you when I grow up, man. Like, I love that man so much, and he was so inspirational to me. Like, he always pushed us, like, no matter what anybody else was saying, like, he always pushed me and Jasmine and my mom to, like, sing and do better and, like, be the, like y'all saw the other Sunday my dad throw a towel at Jasmine, but I saw Paris throw a towel at Jasmine because it was just like, that's just like, that's what
he done threw a drumstick.
He would throw
empty water bottles.
like he used to
turned off microphones.
He's throwing it.
And so it was just like, that's just who he was. And so it was just like, I remember like, bro, like walking into that church was just so much for me, because it was just like, how am I supposed to like continue to do this and you not sitting a couple chairs down from me, or you not standing in front of me directing me? Like, this is so.
And we had a door on the side of the church. Okay. We had a door on the side of the church, that red door. And I remember a little bit after he passed away, just randomly one service, that door shot open. Like, I'm talking about nobody was standing near the door. The door flew open.
Okay, to give y'all background, it is a fire door.
It's
So
like,
it's very heavy.
I used to have to. Right, this door flew open one Sunday. Middle of service, everybody head just turned. And we was just like, well, I reached the side he wanted to come sit down. Like, that stuff, and little moments like that, it feels as if like, it's almost comforting. Cause it's like, you know, yes, I might not see you again over here. But as long as I stay on my right path, I try and do and be the best person I could be, I'll see you again when we get up there. So it's like it's almost encouraging when you lose somebody to become better, because the person that you lost, the reason why it's so hard for you more than likely is because they were such a good person. They were such a good person to you, or such a good example to you. You miss them, but if you do right by God and you do the right things, it's like you'll see them again eventually.
I want us to focus on, and I want us to practice as much as we can, doing away with describing them as lost. Anything lost you can't find.
My glasses all the time.
And so I want us to look at them as gone. They're gone, but they're not lost. When we lose something, we say we can't find it, but because we know where they are.
I can't even say they're misplaced then.
They're not lost.
I just can't get to it right now.
They've departed, and according to the scripture, they've gone to sleep on this side, but we'll see them again on the other side.
Hey, Dale. I was at the house by myself last night. Y'all ain't even lying. I was so scared. But I went home. I kid you not, I thought somebody was in my house. I had to grab my pistol. It's my dog. My dog knocked something down. Knocked some books down. And so I'm like, I just heard something crash. I'm like, not today. And
I ain't going.
The books that he crashed down was books that she was read back to back. And I'm like, is you trying to send me a sign or something? Like, it's just yeah, like, you know, it was just weird how it went down, because I don't know.
It happens all the time.
She be in that house.
It happens to me in my baby shower, because you know my baby shower was on my auntie's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the light in our hallway. It has its own mind. Like sometimes it want to work, sometimes it doesn't. And that particular day, it wasn't turning on. And then it was me, my sister, and somebody else who was in the living room. And then the light just came on all of a sudden. I said, Cece, go in the hallway. Go look in the hallway. She's like, I'm not going out. But I felt like that was my auntie saying, you know,
I'm here.
Yeah,
Hey,
congratulations,
I seen it, girl.
Cause we was it spooked all of us cause we wasn't paying no attention. The light just came on. We all looking like, go somebody go look and turn the light off, please. Nobody would get up.
Probably see Auntie pumping right at the end.
Nah, the scream like I don't know what, boy.
But I think that my papa was preparing me for when he does leave. Yeah. Because but no, like I'm saying like church wise. Because one thing he gonna do, he asks me every time, you got your tithes? You got your tithes? And then, you know, I just got my internship with Alex, like, he be like, you got your tithes Sunday yet? But he like, yeah, he take it out the back, go put it in church. Go get your tithes, calculate it out. How much you owe? Cause he was like, that'll save you every time.
I'm not gonna lie, just to piggyback off of that, your grandpa is not lying. Because whenever I don't pay my tithes, God gonna get it. God gonna get it. That is a week that everything happens. God is going to get it. Whether it be your time, exactly. Whether it be your time,
you'll get stuck in traffic.
listen, God gonna get his money.
You pull hair in your beard.
Okay, so my last thing before we close out here today, the only thing that I want to encourage everyone to do is to practice healthy grieving. Whenever you find yourself in that moment where you just feel like everything is going wrong, you don't know what to do, you're crying, find a way to actually get a release. Do not bottle it up. And find a healthy way to release it. Whether that be having a therapist or going to grief counseling with the pastor or writing in your prayer journal or singing a song or whatever the case is. Phone a friend, read the Bible, say a prayer. However that may be, find a healthy way to get it out.
Yes.
Thank you, Jasmine, for that segue for this. I want to share with all of you today. We here at the New Providence Church in Columbus, Georgia, we have made way. If you feel like you're dealing with grief, we have partnered with the Pastoral Institute, where we make way for you to have counseling. All you have to do is go to the Pastoral Institute and let them know that you are a member of the New Providence Baptist Church here in Columbus, Georgia. And you can be seen by a therapist there.
Shout out to New Providence. I know that's right.
QBC, boy, you ever feel a little
Y'all need me, y'all call me, I might cry with you, but hey.
I mean, as you saw, all of us was crying with each other.
You started that train wreck. I knew it. The minute I heard crack, I said, here you go.
I'm already a cry baby.
I know, right?
That's what said. Just look. This is so
It was the
Look, I said, let me go back in.
That's what you get it from. That pause. That's where you get it from. It makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna close this out today. Thank you so much for crying with us. Thank you for joining us here today for Life Unfiltered with the Joshua generation. We appreciate all the tears
And the love. And she gives your last podcast for right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Baby Ariel on the way.
We got a new member coming.
I want to encourage all of our viewers, all of our listeners, if you're dealing with grief, it is not weak for you to feel you need help. It is better to seek out help than to try to deal with it yourself. It only gets worse. grief is real. However, there's so many avenues for us to get help, the necessary help that we need. And we must encourage one another. Because we're dealing with grief, it does not make us weak. Seek out counseling, seek out help. Do it quickly. I pray for you that if you're dealing with grief, please seek out the right help.
And again, thank you guys so much. Oh, sorry.
I'm
For
sorry.
all of those struggling
And now
in
it's
other
on.
areas that are not Columbus, Georgia, there is a hotline you can call. It is a suicide hotline, but it's for all mental health issues. Don't forget the number is 988. It is a 3-digit number, 988. So 911.
Call 411.
Oh my God, no. 988 for suicide prevention hotline. Just call them. They are there to talk and help you until you can find someone who can help you through everything.
Car accidents.
Okay, so just to do a quick little recap before we close out. For one, you are not broken if you are grieving. Okay?
Amen.
God is not in a rush to get you back on your feet. He's with you in the valley.
Dun, 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 dun.
And grief does not cancel your calling, and faith will not cancel your pain. Keep trusting God. Thank you.